great Coptic ambassador today is the world's known solar energy genius, Mr. Ibrahim Samak. It's a great honor to have you on our show. Mr. Samak, can you please tell us, the audience, a bit about your early life, your family?
So I came from Luxor, and I have my youth in the school there. And when I have the Sanawiyya Amma, I have actually a good number, but it was opened in this year Asyut University, and it was allow all the people from Upper Egypt to be in the Asyut University who come from Upper Egypt. And I was very pleased to be in the University of Asyut. And then I graduated from Asyut University, and I lived in Luxor. My father was employed there, and we were a family with my mother and my brother and sister, and this is the early youth I have it. And when I was youth in Luxor, I was always join Sunday schools, and this was actually, we grown up, you can say, in like Sunday school, and it was like that.
In which church?
In the Coptic church,
the Coptic.
Kanisat al-Hadra, yes. Maria Church, yes.
Great.
Yes.
Who was your support in all your accomplishments from your family members?
Actually, it was my parent. It was my father and it was my mother. And my father, actually, when I entered the Faculty of Engineering, from the first year, he insists that I must do summer training in Germany, where I was not knowing one word of German. But he insists that I need to make the summer training in Germany. Then I have against it. I said, no, I like to go to England. No. And then I went to Germany. I have every year summer training in Germany. Yeah.
And the immigration was new
No,
at
it was
its
not
time.
immigration. It was not immigration.
It was only training.
I was only in the summer. I am during the school. During the school, I am in the university, and in summer I go to spend 2-3 months in Germany to work there and to learn there. Yeah.
And where in Egypt is the place where you had a lot of memories and would like to visit each time you come to Egypt?
Actually, because I came from, you can say, Upper Egypt, and I have my root coming from Luxor, it was always, I like always to come to Egypt from time to time. And now I come nearly every 2 months to Egypt for 2-3 days when I have the meeting, yes, with the council, yeah.
In your career, what are the characteristics in a person you would like to work with, and what are the things you can't tolerate in a person in your team or a member in the company?
Actually, when I tell you, when I graduated from the university, I graduated was very good, but unfortunately I was not chosen to be a member there, because they said, no, we took another one after you because you have your project in this subject and would like to have this subject. And I was not happy that I was not staying in the University of Asyut, because I said this can be a good chance that at least I go outside to make my doctorate and to study. And by that time, when I traveled to Germany from the first year, I know my wife. I know her as a colleague, nothing else. And then my parent insists to invite her in Luxor, and she accepts to come. And when she comes, she becomes as a member, as a daughter of them. Yeah. And yes, and then after that, it was not chance. Then I worked in Egypt for 2 years. Then I went to Libya. I also worked for another 2 years. And I was in Libya as a consultant to the Development Council, which is very good. And then I traveled back to Germany with my wife, and we start with the career of my company.
You were already married?
I was already married.
Okay.
I was already married, yes,
And
because...
she came to Libya and
Yes, yes,
Egypt?
I was already married because because I married a foreigner, and I was really, at the beginning, I was very afraid, but I met the Pops, and he said, it's no problem. Yes, we make a marriage, and we make the marriage here in Heliopolis.
Really?
Yes, we make the marriage here in Heliopolis, yes.
Along this wonderful journey, there were sacrifices you had to make. What are these small sacrifices in your opinion?
You know, when I went to Libya, it was completely other, you can say, other life. And I was there with my wife alone, without anybody from the family. And then I have one of my child born there, and they need to go to, it was by that time, it was a kindergarten, a German kindergarten there, and he went to the German kindergarten there, and it was very good. And then when we came back to Germany, this was 1974, then I start with the first company. It was like electrical and agricultural company. And in 1986, we start with the solar company. And we were one of the very oldest solar company, you can say, in the world or in Europe, one of the oldest one. Because by that time, it was not very much known like today,
Of course.
the renewable energy and.
Yes, of course. African Heritage magazine have described you as a solar energy genius. Can you, in simple terms, explain to the audience the magnitude of your inventions and the impact they have across the globe?
Actually, we start with many projects in Germany. First of all, I decide the office where we are to put in the top of the office the modules to produce electricity from the sun. I put in my home where I live, I put to the roof, and I put in the balcony and the facade, I cover it with also with the module and to produce electricity. And it was very, very early. It was one of the first projects in the city where we live. And nobody believed. The people come from the university, from the school, when they heard it, when they read it in the newspaper. What? There is a solar energy? How it is? And there are many questions actually and asked from the people. And then after that, we start to develop solar street lamp. And I have in it, I have a patent. I register it as a patent, yes. And by such way, we said to Germany, we have in this our solar street lamp. When we have no sun for 5 days, we guarantee the sun work every night. We call it intelligent management system. We make like management system to the lamp, and the lamp said, today there is no sun, but I still need to keep in the storage, in the battery, I keep a certain amount of energy. And then they said, okay, maybe this night we can, the lamp consists of 2 bulbs, one big and one small. They said, we don't need to have the small bulb, for example, between 1 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the morning, nobody in the street, then we reduce the electricity. Second day, there is no sun again, then still the management system work. And by such way, the management system was able to keep the light for minimum 5 days. 5 days, this was the maximum time in Germany where there is no sun in this period. And we were happy that we were at the end in 250 municipalities in Germany where we use our lamp, and we give guarantee to every municipality. If the lamp in 1 day doesn't work, we pay a penalty. We pay a penalty because it doesn't work, and we don't to remember that we pay one penalty for our street lamp. And this was one of the patent which we use it, and this was working very, very well. And then we start to work on the project, and this African magazine, they choose every year, they choose 100 person, and from this 100 persons, they choose number one or so. And by this year, they choose me, I am to say that, yes, it was like that, yeah.
You have been involved in so many high-profile solar energy projects around the world. Which of them do you consider the most challenging and why?
Yeah. Actually, if I take Germany, the house where is, you can say like the president is in, this is a government building. And this was, in this government building, we cover the whole house with solar energy. And it was one of the biggest, you can say, government houses in Europe was covered by solar energy. Then we have second project, which actually I am very proud by it. This is the Parliament of Berlin. It was one of the very history place in Berlin from the very old time. And the government of Germany decided to renew the whole building. And they make international tender. And instead, the first one was a German one. It was the first one is the English one. Sir William Foster was the architect #1 in the world by that time. And actually he did everything, and we worked with him in a very close cooperation. And he always, I myself, I was involved myself in the project, and I traveled to Berlin according to his request, and we talk, and he changed, and we changed, until we have one of the very beautiful project, you can say, in Berlin. And till today, you are not allowed to visit the Parliament from down, but there is a way you go to the roof, and then you can see the solar energy on the roof.
On the dome?
On the dome, beside the dome, and there is like cafeteria. You can go and drink coffee and tea, and you can see the project. And then we have also, if I speak about Berlin, we have also the railway of Berlin. This is the most busy railway, you can say, nearly in Europe. And they expect per day 250,000 persons coming to the project.
To the station?
To the station. And the station, the roof of the station was covered by glass. And a big part of it, instead they use the glass, they use a special design of modules, which were nearly like when the sun shine, you can get energy, and you can see through the glasses, you can see the sun down around the cells, yes. And this was actually an excellent project. I like it very much.
You worked on this project with Mr.
Hani
Hazar.
Because Hani Hazar was actually responsible for the project, and we are very pleased actually to work with him, and it was really it was very, very good project. And then we use there was many problem in Germany where we are part of the solution of it. For example, there is no much places to Germany to have ground, to put in the ground solar energy, no much places. Then, for example, we use in Stuttgart, we use the runway of the aeroplane, runway.
In the airport?
In the airport, where is the right hand and left hand, there is a long runway which nobody uses. And we make a first test by it to use also solar energy on the ground, on the runway. And this was after that running in many projects.
And these airports supply electricity not just for the airport, for...
No, but it's because you can say the airport, it needs very much electricity. The part of what we put it is use a part of the electricity which we needed. Yes.
Perfect. We understood that you are heavily involved in designing the largest solar energy station in the Middle East in Egypt. Can you tell us more about the project and its impact on the lives of the Egyptians?
Yeah. No, I would say that we start with the solar energy in Egypt since more than 15 years.
Really?
And I myself, I brought to the Ministry of Electricity by that time 3 projects financed from Germany, and the project running by solar energy.
In Egypt?
In Egypt. One of them called Qaryat Awlad al-Sheikh. And this is the whole village was done by electricity, by solar electricity, everything. And we have with the Ministry of Industry, we have 2 institutes where we use them solar energy. But unfortunately, we never succeed that the country itself to have one project of solar energy 15 years ago, until we have the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. And we are really very, very obliged to him, because by that time, we have a shortage of electricity here in Egypt. And he asked about the solar energy, and until he was convinced from me about what we used in Germany for the solar energy. And he found out it's a very good idea to apply it here in Egypt. And we start in Egypt to have this different project about solar and wind energy. And we are very happy about how it's going now to Egypt. It's going very, very well. And this engineer, Shakir, from the Ministry of Electricity, he do really a lot of work now and a lot of project of renewable energy.
We hear so much in the West about alternative energy sources and other attempts to reduce the dependency on oil. Why solar energy is not being used as an alternative or a wider scale across the world?
Actually, God gave us the sun. If you take the ray of the sun and you produce from it electricity, what you produced from the whole sun of the world in 1 hour, it covers the whole needed of energy of the whole world, not one time, 10,000 times. In Egypt, we have also the very good sun, the very strong sun, and the very long sun. For example, if I see the day, how many days we have sun in Egypt, we have between 300 and 310 days per year. If I look to Germany, how many days we have sunny days in Germany? Between 100, maybe 140 days. If I see how long the sun stay with us in Egypt here, it stay per day around 8 hours. The sun, the whole day, if we have sun, the whole day sun. In Germany, the sun between 5 and 6 hours. What we produced, what the production of the energy of the sun of 1 kilowatt here in Egypt compared to what produced in Germany is a big difference. Germany make a program how to use the little sun of them. And I tell you, today we have in Germany 1,650,000 of houses and projects in Germany. 1,650,000.
Depending on the solar energy?
from all of this covered by solar energy.
You recently received a Federal Cross of Merit Award of the Federal Republic of Germany. How did you feel and what is the award for?
Actually, I was not expected, but suddenly I received a letter and phone call that I was awarded this, and they make a very big celebration to give it to me. And then of course, I informed the ambassador, and I phoned also some of my friends and my family, and it was really I was very, very happy to have it. And it's not only because I mixed between, you can say, my work for the solar energy and my work for also social life of, as I speak after that about African Hope, what we do for Africa. And I was really very, very, very glad for such celebration, and I got it, yeah.
You were talking about the African work?
African Hope.
Hope.
Yes.
And
I tell you, if we're speaking about African Hope, how it's happened? It happened that in Germany, every Monday, you put in front of your house all things which you don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you put a new TV, then you have an old TV, you put it outside. You have a fridge, if you have furniture, you have mebel, you. And by that time, I have somebody from Africa. He said, oh, what I see in the street and the big car of the town come to collect it and finish it. If we have in Africa by that time very little things, it will be impossible. Then we thought to have we have African Hope, and we call it African Hope. I make it very short for it. We hope in African Hope we have 5 hopes. Hope of education, hope of health, hope of work, hope of youth, and hope of energy. I make very short about each one. Hope of education. We look for intelligent student or student, boys or girls, from Africa, and you know Egypt is a part of Africa. And if we find out that he have excellent notes, we can make arrangement to take him to Europe to make her PhD or to make his doctorate. Because the student is very intelligent, we facilitate to him until we bring him to Europe, and we spend to him for 1 year, and this year we find one of the organization to continue of him.
Funding him.
To fund of him. And this actually we have a lot of successful stories from different African countries. And I remember, without mentioning name, one who was number 10 in the secondary school, in the Abitur, secondary school, was number 10 from here. And he wanted to study Raumfahrt. He wanted to study air engineering. This was not exist here in Egypt. It was not exist easily. Then we brought him. He was in the university. And first year he have excellent number. Then we have an organization. She spent with him, and now he's graduated, and so on. And this we have after that the hope of the health. Hope of health. We have actually many contact with hospital and in Germany, and whenever they have the renewal, any machines or any equipment, we took it and send it to Africa. And we have, for example, in Tanzania, we have a hospital which was completely down, and we have a small hospital in Stuttgart where it's closed to have a very big one. They give us everything. Everything. Then we took everything, transferred it, and completely the hospital now is
running
completely genau. And then we have hope of energy. We look to family who have children in secondary school or so, and they want to study and they don't have electricity. Then we give them a complete set with a lamp, and this they can use it. Then we have hope of youth. We start the first year in the year 2000 with the first, we call it European Youth Mission. And this European Youth Mission, we invite all young people from Europe. And sometimes from other countries, they ask to join the conference. And we always do the conference started from Thursday and finished on Sunday. It takes, you can say, 3 nights to sleep and 10 days to eat, 10 times to eat. And we bring the student to know each other and to know, they can say, the student from Austria, they have experience of Germany, from Switzerland, they have experience from Holland, and this makes the young people together. And we have this year, it will be in Rome at the end of August, as we do it every year. And a couple of years, 3 years ago, we invite the Pope Tawadros, and we were very lucky he accepts the invitation, and he spent 3 days with us, day by night. Also, 2 years ago, we invite Sir Magdi Jacob from England and Engineer Hani Hazer and Dr. Victor Zagala to come to stay in the conference and stay with the youth the whole day. And even all of them, they are very busy, but they was staying 3 days, day by night. And they have a contact with the people, explain how they succeed in their life, what they suffer to be in such position. And you know, the 3 are very famous now and like that.
Of course, that's
yes.
amazing.
It was amazing, yes. And I must say that also, some years ago, we invite Father Dawood Lamai, and he was the guest of the conference, and he stayed with us 2-3 days there with the conference, and it was really very, very good. Yeah.
In 2006, you became the co-founder of Consulting and Coaching, CCS. Can you tell us more about this company?
Yes. I must say that we have one of our staff and my colleague in the company, she is very specialist in coaching. And she have even from England the high certificate of coaching. And then we thought to make consulting and coaching. And we make it in Stuttgart. And I think this play a very big role, especially for the young people. They need it. They need the coaching, the real coaching, yeah.
CYC is a channel geared towards youth across the world. Can you tell us, the audience, your sons and daughters, what has been the secret of your success?
Actually, I must say, I myself am obliged to my wife. My wife played a big role in our life. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2013. but she was really grown up the children an excellent way. The children, my children, they speak nearly 3 or 4 languages fluently. German, English, French, and some Arabic. And by such way, the children was very, very, very successful. When we use, for example, the children work during the summertime, then we give them, for example, a job, and they only get exactly according to their work. And I remember once my wife took my small child, was 5 or 6 years ago, to a shop not far away from us, and she saw him how she buys his milk and where he go to buys, where after that she sent him alone to buy the milk and bring it home. Which everybody, oh, but he is young one, how you send him? No, he need to learn it.
Independence. Yes.
Independent, yes. And I must say that I have my first son. He is the CEO of the biggest, one of the biggest organization in Germany for press and that very, very successful. The second one, he was Europa director for PayPal. PayPal is a big one of the organization which guarantee if you buy something from the internet, they guarantee this and this. And he was European director, and his working was in Paris. But the president of the PayPal, they insist to make the most thing exist to take him from Paris to San Francisco, to be there in the main office. And I was not very happy about it, because I said, and how many million in America, how they can take my son? But the people facilitate to him that even every 3 months he can come to Europe and visit the parent.
That's great.
It's really great, yes. And this is what I say now, the parent must care about the children from their young, stay with the children, they give time to the children, they give the children education, and they give them language. This is very, very important.
Of course, yes. Many of the youth who are closely watching your successful life wonder, I can never do that. I feel so and so. Many people are against me. They only hire their own people. Mr. Samak, you must have had many obstacles in your life, and still you prevailed. Can you tell us one of these obstacles, and what is your advice for us to overcome troubles and obstacles in our lives?
Yeah, actually, when I went to Germany and we started the first year, I was coming from Egypt, have Arabic and Egyptian mentality. But I put in front of myself, I need to be and to work like the German. And this is the minimum to be succeed if you are outside your country. If you don't work hard like the other people, then you can be good like them. But if you want to have something extraordinary, then you need to work more than them.
Of course.
And by such way, you can very easy to be succeed in outside Egypt or to be succeed in Europe. And this is the work is really very important. Not only the work, the production. You need to work and to produce. And with my old age and an end, I still working every day from 7 o'clock in the morning. I go 7 o'clock in the morning to my office. And from my office, I meet with the people. Then I go to the project. Then I return in the evening to the company again. And I stay in the company until 9 o'clock. And I don't say, oh, now I'm tired, I need to go home, I need to this. And sometimes I do Saturday and Sunday. And this is, I want to tell anybody, any young boy or girl. They want to be succeed. They put an aim in front of them. I need to work and to produce. And by such way, they have the success in front of them.
This is an amazing advice. Thank you so much. And this is an amazing life and magnificent achievement. Where is God, church, and family in Ibrahim Samak's life?
I can tell you. Actually, we grown together in the family, either with my parent or with my wife. And maybe this is the first time I said it in my life. My wife was every night, before she go to bed, she have a book, and she write in the book how she dealt with the 3 children. If she dealt with one child more than the other, next day she compensated at once. And we lived together as a Christian family, and really in a good way. We respect Sunday church, Sunday fasting, and it is very important to a family to be together. And for example, what we do with the family, when we have Christmas time, we sit together with the family, then we ask where we spend the holiday this year. Then everybody make up his proposal until we choose one proposal, and we go to spend the holiday only with the family, not with a friend, not with a family, only with the family, with the children. And I must say that when my wife was ill, my children every weekend, they come and spend with her the weekend. Even my child who was in Paris, he have children, he came every weekend with the children from Paris to see his mother. And this is only done because of the parent when they spend time to the children.
According to your service and youth conference, you must be aware of the challenges that face the youth abroad. What do you think are the challenges of the youth people living abroad in Europe, in America, in Canada?
They need to work. They need to work to reach minimum as the standard of the other people in the country. If they don't reach it and use sometimes our Arabic or Egyptian mentality, they will never be successful. They need to work, but if they want to be something extraordinary, they need to work more than the other people. Yes.
Mr. Ibrahim Samak, you're indeed a Coptic ambassador. It was a great honor to meet with one of the greatest minds of the century.
Thank you very much. I was very pleased for the invitation. And in spite of I came to Egypt for 48 days, but I'm very, very busy, but I accept the invitation and I'm very happy to be here with you.
This is too much for us, and thank you very much for your time.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm very happy. Yes.